Hello everyone, my name is Zard and welcome back to another video. So video will be a list of 10 sets that I would like to see for LEGO Harry Potter in 2022. So this list will include sets that add on to the already existing modular Hogwarts system. I also have a D2C set in here, and then a few sets that tie into a certain film that they haven't really made sets for. I think you know what that one is. That I think can tie into the film without necessarily being exactly from that film. So the first part of this list is the section of the wave for Deathly Hallows tie-in wave. So starting off with the one that's probably a bit too dark, and that's GODRIC'S Hollow. And I think you can make this set without necessarily having it be exactly Deathly Hallows. Now, of course, GODRIC'S Hollow is mainly just in Deathly Hallows, so that doesn't work really for the tie-in sets, but I think this is an important location in Harry Potter, and you don't necessarily have to have, like, Nagini in there. You don't have to have the graves. I don't know. I think this is an important location, and it's kind of just annoying that they're like, well, it doesn't fit with their values, so we're not going to make Deathly Hallows sets. It's just annoying because you gotta finish the story, and I think the other ones of this tie-in wave are better. But this is one that I wanted to include because I think it's a necessary Harry Potter set, which is same for one that I don't have here, and that's Malfoy Manor. I think that's an important Harry Potter set that we do need at some point. But that one also, it's really just like this, just Deathly Hallows. So the next few, I think, are better tie-in sets. This one, for sure, the less likely of all of these Deathly Hallows tie-in sets, I think. So the second set that I have on this list is a Hogwarts bridge set. So, of course, we saw this in a scene with the Deathly Hallows where the Snatchers are going after Neville to get into Hogwarts. And in an ideal world, I think we'd see this set with Neville, a few Snatchers, the bridge build, of course, maybe a Ginny minifigure in there as well, a feature where you could collapse the bridge. But they don't really seem, LEGO, of course, doesn't really seem to want to make Deathly Hallows sets. So instead of making this Deathly Hallows base, you can still have the Hogwarts bridge, but maybe make it Prisoner of Azkaban based with Professor Lupin and Harry, of course. And you could just have an updated Lupin. I think that's much needed, and then a Harry minifigure. We have so many Prisoner of Azkaban Harrys, but I think if you don't want to make this Deathly Hallows base, which I'd love, making it Prisoner of Azkaban base is still good, and you could kind of recreate your Deathly Hallows scenes with the bridge build. So the next set I have on this list is a Hogwarts Courtyard. I think this is an important set. Of course, we kind of have a mini small one with the 2018 Great Hall, which I think might be retiring at the end of 2021. I'm not 100% sure. Of course, this is where we see the final battle at Hogwarts in the films. And once again, like that Hogwarts bridge, I'd love to see it with Voldemort, Harry, Hagrid, Narcissa Malfoy, Lucius, Draco, Ginny, so many figures, some rubble build, knocked over Hogwarts courtyards. But we could just get this set that's the Hogwarts Courtyard that doesn't necessarily have to be Deathly Hallows. I'd love some features where you can knock things over and maybe have some minifigures that kind of tie into the Deathly Hallows scene. But yeah, if you can't see, I'm really trying to get Deathly Hallows sets here, but yeah, you can make it that's not necessarily Deathly Hallows and still have the courtyard where you'd still, if you wanted to, make those Deathly Hallows scenes. So this next set, of course, is a direct tie-in, not even a tie-in, it's Deathly Hallows, and that's a 19 years later scene. I think that would be a really nice set, and I think what the LEGO designers, like Harry Potter designers, have said is that the later films, of course, I would guess that would be Order of the Phoenix, Half-Blood Prince, Deathly Hallows Part 1 and 2, don't necessarily fit with their brand's values, as the first two films, of course, Philosopher's Stone and Chamber of Secrets, do, as they more indulge into the magic side of Harry Potter. And I think that this scene kind of does, right? Like, it's the continuation of the story, almost, with Harry and Ron, Hermione, their children, going off to Hogwarts to see that magic. So there's nothing really dark here. Of course, unless you have Lupin and Tonks' sun just there by himself. But other than that, there's nothing super dark about this, and it's just like magical, right? It's not too bad, and I think this would be a great one. I wrote on here an expansion or new Hogwarts Express. I know a Hogwarts Express set is for sure needed to have probably on shelves, just like a Great Hall is. They're good sets to have for a Harry Potter wave. And I also put expansion, of course, because you could get maybe a few more sections of the Hogwarts Express that you can connect to your 2018 one that would expand the Hogwarts Express. But I think with that set probably retiring pretty soon, it'd probably just be a whole new Hogwarts Express, and I think this would be a great way to do it. So my last for this Deathly Hallows tie-in wave is Grimmauld Place, so this would be in the Order of the Phoenix version, which is getting into those later films, but they haven't not made Order of the Phoenix sets, which, I don't know, it's weird to me that they are like, we're not going to make Deathly Hallows sets, but we made the graveyard scene. It's just kind of weird. The Grimmauld Place, I think we need a Grimmauld Place set. It would be an awesome set. Whether it was a D2C set, I think that would be really, really cool to have it all closed off in a big, huge build, a ton of minifigures. I think I'd absolutely love that set. But if it's not, I think a smaller set, play set style, you can get your hands in there. No back to the set. You could see Sirius, Harry, Ron, Hermione probably also there. And just more figures from the Order of the Phoenix film. And I think this would be a great set and a great tie-in set for the Deathly Hallows. So my next section of this video of the 10 sets is the modular Hogwarts expansion sets. Of course, last year with the 20th anniversary of LEGO Harry Potter, we saw new Hogwarts-style sets that looked to be continuing into 2022 with the Hospital Wing, and they were modular sets where we saw the Polyjuice Potion Mistake, the Chamber of Secrets, the Fluffy Encounter, and so I think this would be great, and the first set I would like to see here would be the History of Magic Classroom. So this one is for sure one I'm not sure if we'd get, but I think it would be a really nice one that would go nice against the Defense Against the Dark Arts classroom that we see in the Chamber of Secrets set. I think a Professor Binns minifigure would be really cool. I'd love to get a Peeves in there too, just to get a couple book characters. New minifigures would be amazing. Then you'd probably include a Harry, Ron, Hermione, maybe some other characters, Neville, Fred, George, whoever it is. I think it would be some nice ways to get some cool characters and a nice classroom build. I quite like that, Defense Against the Dark Arts classroom. So last year we saw the Fluffy Encounter set where we saw the entrance to the final scenes of the first film, of course, the Philosopher's Stone, and then the Devil's Snare in there as well, and we saw some of those tasks. So I think one set that could add on to those would be a nice the key scene where Harry flies on the broom and finding the keys. I think they could build flying keys there, maybe have them as a molded piece, and I think it would be quite nice. And it would be a nice set to add on to that. I think the exterior, a half Hogwarts and a half dungeon or like rock style build would be really nice. That could add on to your Chamber of Secrets area, because I don't think we have enough rocks yet for Hogwarts, and I think that would be a nice expansion set to the modular Hogwarts system. My next set on this list is the Hogwarts Moving Staircase. I think this would be a really cool set. You could actually have the staircases move. You could see the portraits in there as well. Maybe one of them, the staircase ends maybe on the entrance to a common room. Of course, the Gryffindor common room with the fat lady would be pretty cool. And I think this would be a really fun set. I think for size, two of the Polyjuice Potion Mistakes stacked onto each other would be a nice height to this set. Some, of course, Hogwarts student figures. We'd likely see Harry, Ron, Hermione. I'd like new characters, but those would probably be the likely figures of this set. So my last Hogwarts expansion set is another classroom, and that's the potion classroom, and I said with the dungeons, so I think you could have one build for the kind of like the size of the Fluffy Encounter, where you have the main room, which would be the small potion classroom, and then a smaller build that could be maybe the hallway of the Hogwarts dungeons. I think that would be a nice way to get some more rock work to add to your already pretty good rock work for the modular Hogwarts system. But yeah, I think this adding some more modular Hogwarts system sets would be nice. But now moving to one of my favorite sets on this list, and it's going to be the D2C. So for the big direct-to-consumer set for 2022, I think we need a Gringotts set. This is a long overdue set with the release of Diagon Alley. We just need this set to add to the Diagon Alley build. It's needed. Gringotts is in Diagon Alley. It's a huge part of Diagon Alley, and we just need it. We really do. I think I would love to have this based on several films. I think you could have the Ukrainian Iron Belly, I believe. I'm pretty sure I got the dragon name correct, from Deathly Hallows. You could have the Deathly Hallows versions of Harry, Ron, Hermione, of course, Bellatrix there as well, switching between Hermione and Bellatrix, Ron in his outfit or disguise, and then normal Ron. Griphook could be in there, 3 or 4 goblin minifigures. Harry, of course, in his first time in the Wizarding World, or not first time in the Wizarding World, but first time like kind of in it when he's more grown up. When he goes to Diagon Alley for the first time, we saw that minifigure in the Diagon Alley set, but they didn't shy away from putting it in another set. They decided to just toss it into the Advent calendar, which I'm still a little sour about. And then Hagrid, you probably want him there as well. Maybe a multi-level thing as well. Maybe some of the basement roller coaster track system there. Of course, all the goblin desks, their main desk there, some security guards, a opening top window area where you could have the Ukrainian Iron Belly spill through. Now, I wouldn't expect them to, say, put Voldemort in this set, of course, because when he comes, he kills all the goblins, and that's a bit too violent, I understand that. But yeah, I think this would be a lovely set, and I would absolutely love to see this as the D2C set for 2022. So that was my list of 10 sets I'd like to see in the second half of 2022. So the rain is just about starting, so hopefully you can't hear that now. I thought I was going to get through the whole video without it really pounding down on my windows, but it's starting to now. I think I really like these sets. I'd love some Deathly Hallows sets, and if they're not going to make Deathly Hallows sets, I think tie-in sets are important as well. Hogwarts expansion sets, of course, we're going to see those. And then a big D2C, of course, Gringotts is my ideal choice. I don't really think there's anything else that sticks out to me that I think we need. I think we need Gringotts. I think that needs to be the D2C set for 2022. But I hope you enjoyed this video, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye.